Howdy, folks. My finger twitched. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to episode 239, Back from the Brink. And by the brink, I mean the podiatrist saying, hey, we need to lop your toe off. No, that's not what he actually said. He said, you got a choice. Take the toe or do 6 weeks of antibiotics. I chose 6 weeks of antibiotics. I don't know what the rest of y'all would have done, but here we are. I hope everybody has had, a better 2 weeks than I have. We got Reese and McMurray with us tonight, and we're just going to talk about whatever we decide to talk about. Whatever comes up, that's what's going to happen. So I hope everybody is doing well. We got plenty of comments to look at. Chris Long came in early, 12 minutes ago, says, hey ho. And then Nord is in the house. Evening, gents. I can't stay. Unfortunately, I've been up for 17 hours, but I wanted to say hello. Howdy, Nord. I hope you're doing well, buddy.
Go to sleep.
Yeah. Peace out, brother. Charles is in the house saying bye, Nord. But then he says hello, everyone else. Ninguea is here. Hey, everyone. Up early for a change. How you doing, sir? If by staying warm, it is currently, it was about 51 degrees today, and tomorrow is going to be 57. Then yes, we're staying quite warm. Quite warm.
We hit 75 on Monday here.
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah, we hit 70, and next week's looking good also. Going to be 68 Monday and Tuesday, 66 Wednesday. So, yeah, we are looking to have some rain on Saturday, but that's not too bad. Nagoya says it's only -4 Celsius here, which is what about? I think it was around 25 or so in freedom temperature. Chris Long, it says it's stupidly warm here. Telemachus is in the house, and greetings all. And Charles says he's got 65 and drizzle. I think they've got medication for that. So, anyway, so what has everybody been up to the last 2 weeks?
Oh boy.
I know you've been doing some palate cleansing.
Yeah. And about to pack this place up.
Yep.
So,
you're getting closer to your move to the promised land.
Yes. Well, the warshed is for sale if anybody is willing to take a look. So.
Oh, there you go. Hey, it's already wired for sound, even. So, I mean,
It is.
Come on.
I've got internet. I've got insulation. I've got electricity. I've got fabulous lights. Put about $2,000 worth of electrical and stuff systems in it. So, yeah, I'll make you a deal.
Yep, there you go. McMurray, what have you been up to?
Oh, all kinds of stuff. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what games I played. I played obviously some more Bolt Action. I played some of Howard Whitehorse's Cavemen on Sunday. That was fun. Played Full Thrust yesterday. That was great. That's always fun.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah, I mean,
Very cool.
Yeah, just good times.
Well, so last Thursday went over to Doug's house and we played a game of, what was it? It's called Pillage.
Yeah.
It's rule book put out by Victrix. Dark Ages. We played Vikings v Vikings, and we got a good feel for it. Was able to leave the table up, so we're gonna come back to it tomorrow to see if we can't finish out the scenario. Um, and then yesterday, I was able to get a game of Fistful of Toes in. Um,
Modern.
Soviets got, yeah, modern. Well, circa 78.
Okay.
So the Soviets got their asses handed to them by an armor heavy. Was it armor heavy team? No, no. I think it was an infantry heavy team. They're dragons, and they're dragons from their deployed infantry, and the toes off of their M2s were just kicking the crap out of us. Um, we lost well over 30% of our force. We went infantry heavy, motor rifle battalion with a well, it was actually it would have been a motor rifle division because I had a did I have yeah, I had a battalion. No, it was a motor rifle battalion with a company of T-64s, um, just getting obliterated. Um, and so we definitely did not win. The Americans definitely won, but had fun no matter what. I mean, it's always good to push around 6 millimeter tanks, you know. So I told Reese that if I could find everything, and by everything I mean my 6 mil uh, my 6 mil tanks, when we get back together down at his place after he moves, I'd bring that down and run a game of fistful of toes for him, and you too, McMurray, if we make it down there at the same time.
Oh yeah.
So,
Do that and
uh,
bring your Star Wars stuff.
oh, of course. And then tomorrow, going back to finish up that game of Pillage. And then this Sunday, we've got session zero, character creation for our Star Trek game.
How was pillage?
It's pretty good. Um, it's it's right up there with um, it's very similar to War Master and uh, all the other style games of that sort. Um, One of the things though is that if you if you go into defense on shield wall, it is damn near impossible to charge them to charge into them because if you charge, you lose your shield wall benefit. So you're just slamming yourself into the shield wall, and you're you're gonna get yourself just chewed up. Also, because the particular force that we were running, uh, we only needed 4 figures to make a shield wall, where our opponents needed 5 figures to create a shield wall. Don't know why. I was just there to push miniatures and roll dice. Um, but it was a pretty good game. I mean, it's would I go out and get it? No. But if somebody else has it and wants to play it, okay. But I'm like that with pretty much any set of rules, to be honest. So, um, like I said, we'll finish up tomorrow over at Doug's, and just have a good time with it. So looks like Charles is properly repainting most of his 6 millimeter World War II Soviet armor.
What does that mean, Charles?
Who knows? Um, Chris Long says painting African infantry for my Franco's forces for Spanish Civil War. All
Nice.
right. Nguyen is working on World War One headlines for February 12th, 1918. Uh, Charles said, "Don't mess with dragons." I can wholeheartedly agree with that. Dragons not be good, um, especially when you can't roll for your own stuff. I point blank against an M60 in my T64 uh, did not hit. It was ridiculous, but you know I can't I can't roll a 4, 5, or 6 to save my life half the time. So there you have it. Charles says they were not all green.
Gotcha. I got okay.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Um, so what are you working on right now, Mr. Reese?
I am building a British late colonial, early World War One Middle East 172 scale force.
Oh, there you go.
So,
Any plans for it, or just doing it because?
always been a huge fan of the Boer War. I've gamed a lot of that over the years, not so much in recent years. And also huge fan of World War One in the Middle East, and why not? So
Fair enough. Fair enough. Um, you, Mr. McMurray, what you been working on?
Um, yeah, after so much, excuse me, bolt action, we decided we wanted to try something different, obviously, on Tuesday nights. So, hobby wise, I've been painting up a bunch of my remaining 2 millimeter irregular infantry as British, ideally to be used for uh, 250th celebrations for the War of Independence. Um, if not, I can always toss them in. British intervention in the Civil War is always entertaining.
Yeah.
I also am in the process of finishing the last of those 15 millimeter Indians for that really early American game. It's designed for pre-contact and then immediately post-contact conflicts in North America.
was it like Flint and Feather?
No, it's I don't know where the rule book is sitting. Is this it? Nope, that's Kiss Me Hardy. No, it's there's two games in the series. The one is Cutting Horses and Counting Coup.
Okay, that's fun.
That's Plains, uh, like Plains Indian stuff.
Right.
Let's see here. The second one, oh, for crying out loud. The early one, sorry, Counting Coup and Cutting Horses is the one of them. The other is ba, 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 Cutting Off and Taking Captives. So that's the one I was building stuff for. So I've got really early, like Jamestown
Okay.
era settlers, as well as maybe DeSoto's expedition, depending on which one of the Europeans I'm using, and then a bunch of Coruscant pre-contact / super early um, Native Americans. So lots of stone implements and bows and spears. Um, it can be kind of tough to find that stuff. But it's all in 15, so hopefully it should play pretty delightfully. Um, other than that, I've been making, like I said, we've been talking about doing Fire and Fury in order to try and figure out if Fire and Fury is going to work well on a Tuesday night, which it can be a bigger game. Obviously, I mean, there's colossal scenarios for Fire and Fury, but looking for something small, A, for learning purposes, and then B, honestly, the toughest thing about Fire and Fury and doing it right is finding a game that you can actually put the proper terrain on the table. Because a lot of the time you need like for a normal like 4x4 or 4x6 table, you need about 40 or maybe 50 foot of snake fence, which can be challenging, needless to say. Um, but that's fine. We're working it out. The first game we're going to try is a kind of semi-local battle about hour and a half, 2 hours south of here. A really small engagement in October of 1861, just south of Fredericktown, Missouri, um,
Mm-hmm.
where you've got relatively general consensus of about 1,500 Missouri State Guard troops under M. Jeff Thompson, and then anywhere between 1,800 to 3,500 federal troops under a couple of colonels named Carlin, and this is going to drive me nuts, Plummer. So we're going to see how that kind of works itself out, you know. But yeah, so luckily there's not quite as absurd a number of snake fences. You got a big old cornfield with some snake fence on it. And then it's mostly kind of roads and some wooded hills. So
Well, in southern Missouri too, if you have a fence, it's going to probably be a rock fence.
the base certainly is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the nice part is we're not quite all the way up into the Ozarks there. So you don't there's certainly some lighter fencing. I
We
played the
had some
big
split rails, but yeah,
yeah, it's certainly not as pervasive as you find in Virginia and Pennsylvania.
right.
Um, they also tend to be a little more upright um, in terms of they're not necessarily as stout. And like you visit a lot of Civil War battlefields and split rail fences are like, 2 foot high maybe.
Yeah.
Um, and pretty not run down isn't the right word, but you get my point. They tend to be far closer to like a serpentine brick wall sort of fashion,
Mm-hmm.
right? Where it's a little more focused on just getting them tall, and then you've got vertical posts holding them in place. But at the same time, that's going to hold itself up a lot more than a normal like post fence will, because you've got um, the mutual support from the angles.
Right.
But yeah, so just working that out at the present. I am trying to establish unit labels, so rough unit strengths and regimental or regiments inside of brigade commands. So we'll figure it out.
So Todd is pleased with himself. He said more like board war, and then ha 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 ha.
Jesus.
Uh, Niguea says that I would love playing World War One by SPI. Rolling low is what you want. That would be good. That would be good. And Charles says, and why not green? No idea. What's 40? That was 40 plus years ago. Um, Chris Long says he heard Irregular is closing, and so is White Dragon Miniatures.
I actually meant
Did I
to
hear?
talk about that. Yeah, you have until I think March 21st, and then Irregular Miniatures is closing,
Yep.
which does not include their 2 and 6 mil lines, but the rest of Irregular is closing. So go order from
Mhm.
Ian. He's got huge lines of figures, including a lot of weird stuff that you can't really find. I just ordered a bunch of Midianites, um, and very British Civil War stuff like that. They're super cool lines. He's been doing it for 45 years.
Holy mackerel!
Started that company in 1981, and it's been a virtually one, not entirely a one man band, but kind of
Just
close to
about.
a one man band. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yep. Nguyen says Reis Abdul Hamid, the former sultan, just died on the 11th
Yep.
of February 1918.
Yes.
Hexy's in the house. He says, "Shake your booty on the dance floor." By all means, go ahead.
Jeffrey, how are you,
Uh,
buddy?
um, Charles says, "I also know that some of the tanks are long time lost or tossed. That's too bad." And then Ningwe also says, "Reese, I think the Battle of Shaiba would be a good one to game."
Yeah, I haven't done much on the Iraq front. I usually focus on like the Beersheba campaign and just the run through Palestine around Christmas. But that'd be an interesting one to do.
Yep. So, we've got Ashley in the house. How you doing, Ashley? And then Todd says, "I was going to ask you, Nangoya, how you're enjoying World War One. I thought I'd read on BGG that there may be some unrealistic ways for the Russians to win. Not sure though." And we just lost McMurray. Jeff, Todd says, "Jeff, you sold all of your 3D printers to play SGBACW full time." I don't think he did that. And Chris Long will be back.
I'm
So,
scrolling through Irregular's 54mm collection.
buy all the things.
Yeah, we'll see. There's always been a
What?
few that have appeared have appealed to me. So
And McMurray is back.
Sorry. Apparently, if I get a call, this thing boots me to where I can't hear you, I can't hear you guys anymore.
um,
Actually, it kicked you completely out.
Well, it's because I couldn't hear you guys anymore.
Oh, okay.
I'm scrolling through Irregular's 54mm stuff right now.
It's pretty cool. That's where I got all my like gladiators and whatnot from. I got a bunch of dinosaur hunters.
Isn't that where you got your hookers from too?
I think so. Yeah, I think that is where I got men. Her name is
Nice.
Man Reese. Okay.
You know what?
She
Yep,
has a name.
I just found her blonde sister on here.
There you go. Hell yeah.
You know what?
I think you do.
I do. Looking at some of the Colonials and Civil War guys, though, could definitely do some fun mounted stuff with that.
Yeah. No, there's all kinds of really, honestly, really cool stuff. There's also the one tricky thing is a lot of stuff he has listed as like Union infantrymen, stuff like that. On a bunch of them, there's multiple sculpts, but not all of them.
Mhm.
Um, Honestly, the thing that I found it most outstanding for is um, like filling in stuff. Like you get a big bag of Old Glory stuff or whatever, and then you need like one or two command figures, or to round out your unit, you need one or two of this, one or two of that. And
Right.
it's fantastic. It's one of the only places I found that you can get 15s and like 10s singles.
Does he do 20s?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm. 20, 32 millimeter, 40 millimeter, does 75 mil stuff. Um,
Yes, he does.
some of the lines aren't as diverse, obviously, but yeah. Yeah.
The 75 millimeter French and Indian War.
He does.
That's too big
Cool.
for me, but that'd be fun.
Badass.
So Hexy did sell off all of his 3D printers.
Yeah, right.
Says it right there.
Huh.
Todd asked Jeff, "You sold all your 3D printers to play SGBA CW full time?" He says, "I did. They are gone. So for now." Nguyen says World War One is absolutely. I absolutely love the game. Nice and simple, yet has tons of decision points. I have not played it enough or good enough to know if the Russians have any gamey way of winning. So there you go. Um,
I don't need to, but that just some of these guys are amazing.
Hexy says he sold all except the 4 that are running right now.
Yeah, there you go.
Um,
The truth comes out.
exactly. Um, World War One. I know that people like to combine Austro-Hungarian and German attacks on the Russians, as they let the Austro-Hungarians take the hits and the Russians take double damage of attacks by Germans. Well, there you have it. Uh-oh. Charles has been doing what Reese does. He scrolled the 44 of the 65 pages of GHQ World War II. Saw lots of things I might have to have.
That'll happen.
Well,
GHQ is pricey, though. I mean, they are the best models on the market.
They're also running a sale. I think it's 15 or 20% off. So while they are pricey, they're a little bit better than they usually are, which is helpful to say the least.
Yeah. Let's see right now.
even if I just got the animals I'd need for the Liver and Gus farm raid,
Yeah.
might have to do that. Wonder what their elephants look like. Anybody know?
Big and gray.
Probably half decent most of the time. So you're not getting like a Perry miniature,
Right.
but I've never got a miniature that I was mad about. You know what I mean?
Well, I currently use Schlake Indian elephants for my elephants, and they're just outstanding.
Fair.
So
So, yeah, I guess $14 for 5 vehicles isn't too bad.
It's
Not too
it's no
bad at
3D
all.
printing, but especially
No,
for like guns and infantry, GHQ is pretty helpful.
right.
Um, I tend to print all my vehicles, but guns and infantry are pretty outstanding coming from GHQ.
Yeah, yeah. Um, let's see here.
here we go.
World War II.
What's up, Mike?
All products.
Shipping from England. I wonder if I order it in time for it to get here before I move to Missouri.
Maybe.
It usually isn't bad,
I may
but
have to.
usually it's a couple weeks.
I may have to send it to my office instead.
Probably a good safe bet, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So they haven't gotten too crazy expensive on the ships either.
Oh yeah, on the ships, it's hard not to just if you really need white metal, it's hard not to just do CNC
Yeah.
or what is it for hire now? If you search CNC miniatures, it still pops right up, but they're owned by somebody else now.
Yeah. Legions for hire, it looks like.
There you go, Legions for hire.
And it's Legion's IV hire.
Yeah.
Do you think their 20 mil would work well enough with 172? I bet it would.
Probably. I've never messed with any of their 20s, to be honest with you.
Yeah. One or two guys isn't gonna mess up the whole thing.
Correct.
I've been debating doing ACW in 20 mil.
Just do it in 15, buddy.
No. Why?
Because it's what works best. Like, to be honest with you.
I'm already stretching my painting at 20s.
You're just not painting right. I hate to say it and sound like that.
That is
but,
true.
Like,
Now, are you doing single based at 15 or are you doing multi based at 15?
multi-based.
Nah, I want single based
Why?
because I don't want to do big battles back east. I want to do like anti bushwhacker actions and.
Yeah, then just put them on a 3/4 inch washer.
Well, then I'm just going to do it in 20 mil.
Why?
Because why would I do it in 15s if I want to single base them?
Because you can single base 15s too. The nice thing is all the terrain you're going to find is in 15 mil. The selection's way better at 15 mil.
You might have me there.
Like, you can find really cool 15 millimeter miniatures.
You might have me there.
Like, he's got some cool stuff. I think I saw Old Glory has Rush's Lancers in 15, which is fucking wild. And like the Garibaldi Guard and stuff. Here's the easiest way to do this. Like, hands down, the easiest fucking way to do this.
Like, Price's raid would be the biggest thing I'd ever do.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of fucking colossal. But yeah.
Well, yes, I wouldn't do the whole raid. I'd do some of the actions around the raid.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do Westport.
That's why I was like, it's kind of giant, buddy. You can get like 120,000 dudes on the table. No, it's not that high. How big was Westport? Westport was big as shit.
Battle of Westport was the biggest thing that happened west of the Mississippi.
Yeah, I got it. Let's see here.
22,000 versus 8,500.
About 30,000 dudes. That's a lot of fucking dudes.
Yeah.
That is a lot of dudes. Let's see here. What are some of the more entertaining? So like the cool part is the bushwhackers and whatnot that I painted up with in that game you played in at Jay's.
Yeah.
Those are all Old Glory.
Were they actually? I can't remember those figures. Were they actually bushwhackers?
No, they are Confederate cavalry.
But easy enough.
And I just painted them like they're wearing bushwhacker shirts.
Easy enough.
It is the only reason also that I'll ever buy Confederate cavalry models with pistols, much less 2 pistols each. But yeah,
you got to go. You got to go west of the Mississippi. Everybody had tons of pistols, both sides, and nobody wore uniforms.
Ish. Even at that, man, not tons of pistols. You certainly had far more pistols than you did in the Western Theater, much less the Eastern Theater. But
yeah,
like,
I mean, but you've got guys like Poole who's packing 8.
Correct. But then the overwhelming majority of his forces had a muzzle loading shotgun. You certainly have individuals who did.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back to the primary sources on some of that.
Well, that's where I was getting mine, trying to figure this nonsense out. Um, there's a few various YouTube channels that have good primary source references that they publish alongside. Um, and a lot of them are quartermaster reports, which at
Right.
first I was really dubious of.
Oh, are you talking about the the
That's
11th Ohio Volunteer?
Yes, his mainly focuses on the Western theater,
Yes.
but the sources that he references, you can go try and find. A lot of those sources have either like adjacent sources on that site, or you can explore the same sources from other places.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
they've got good info
they
on
have
units that
ridiculously good info.
filled out reports.
Correct. Um, but at the same time, it's hard to argue that anywhere in the Confederacy there was any unit of any size whatsoever that was better equipped than like Forrest Cavalry and Mosby's Raiders
Oh no,
that were
I agree with you there.
that
I'm
were
talking about
given
like the 10, 15 man groups of 18, 19-year-old kids running around.
correct. I mean, and the issue there is that like going back and looking at least on the eastern side of the state over here, guys were lucky if they had shotguns
Right.
throughout the end of the war. Like Sam Hildebrandt had to carry the same turd squirrel rifle through the entire war because he couldn't get his hands on a musket, much less than get his hands on a steady supply of mini balls.
Hmm.
Um, because as it turns out, when you're killing other people who just have shotguns, or far more frequently, people who don't have guns at all, uh,
Hmm.
it's hard to pick up dozens and dozens of state of the art pistols.
Right.
Which, while not being state of the art, were also nowhere near even available 10 years prior.
The pistols
Cap and ball revolvers
were available 10 years before.
before in 1851, not with any regularity at all.
Well, you had the dragoons in what 1848, 1849.
Was when
U.S.
Colt
Dragoon Corps.
first released them.
They had extensive service in the Mexican War.
The Mexican War wasn't going in. Again, not my point is that you don't have anywhere close to like you can't walk into a general store in Missouri in 1851 and have your pick of the litter on revolvers. It's just
No,
a
No, with that attitude.
they weren't available. B, no one had the fucking financial means to buy one, so there was no point in
uh, correct. I'll
like
give you that. Missouri did not have a prevalence of handguns,
yeah, period. They were just
but
not
I think you will find the cap and balls in California and in the southern border states.
again in places where they were issued. I would
Yeah,
agree with you.
had quite a few, because Colt's pocket models were incredibly popular before the war.
I'm not saying that they weren't pre-war. I'm saying that they weren't. Um, how do I put this? Um, they weren't anywhere near as widespread. Like, think about how long it takes for a mass market production pistol nowadays
Hmm.
to come into common availability. Right, you're still looking at usually 3 or 4 years for a lot of guns, and that's with modern A production, which is the biggest fucking thing, and B distribution. Like the best example that I can think of just off the top of my head is the Hawken rifle, right?
Hmm.
You're familiar with the Hawken rifle.
Yes.
The Hawken rifle came around in Missouri, I mean in St. Louis, because people were unable to get their hands on what is nothing nowhere even close to at the time a cutting edge technology,
Hmm.
right? Like people couldn't get their hands on cap and ball revolvers, so an entire industry grew up in, well, I say an industry grew up in Missouri because getting commonly available firearms that at that point in time have been around for what, 20, 30 years
Mhm.
was so hard to do. I'm not disagreeing with you that the cap and ball pistols weren't around.
You're good.
I'm saying that there's a really common mythology about, well, it's not hard to pick up revolvers when you kill a guy and take his revolver. And it's kind of like the the US and German tank thing on the Western Front. That's fine and dandy. You gotta fucking find one first.
Hmm.
Um yeah. Not to mention the fact that then you run into all the issues with, okay, is his cap and ball revolver the same caliber as your revolver?
Hmm.
Does it take the same caps as your revolver? You're certainly not going to find one unless you're incredibly lucky that's the same model where you have any sort of parts interchangeability for parts breakdown. Um, yeah, that's
How easy would it have been to make a wax mold for, say, a mini ball at the time?
hard as fuck, dude.
Okay.
Because it's wax, so
Or any kind of mold, I guess I should
like,
say.
well, the issue is you have to get it sized right,
Hmm.
right? And then you have to have the production capability to then actually, build a mold that'll last longer than one or two pours
Right.
because it's a wax ball or it's a wax mold, so your master is gone forever. Um, and then you gotta find somebody who can do that. Which again, in the age before hopping on YouTube and being able to cobble that together is fucking tough. Um,
I was just thinking if you had a mini ball and you had candle wax, but
so
then again, I
like,
think candle wax would melt on contact with hot lead.
well, no, yeah. So like, I thought you were talking about like a lost wax casting.
No,
Yeah,
I'm talking
no,
about taking
you
a mini ball, making a pressing, basically.
Oh no. Yeah, no, you're gonna spit wax back all over your face, or you're gonna spit lead all over your face trying that. Yeah. Yeah. If you were trying to make a wax mold, you have to have a mandrel to cast a mini ball,
Hmm.
which wouldn't work in wax. And B, yeah, you can melt candle wax by putting it out in the sun on a hot day.
That is true.
Like candle wax melts way before lead will. Not that pure cast lead is entirely impossible to do. But yeah, that's gonna be a um, that's a hard sell. No, yeah, you're gonna have to make either a metallic mold again if you want to make any sort of numbers. Um, and actually, yeah, I don't even know if you could like any sort of lost wax casting of a mini ball would be single use only because
Yeah.
of the issue with the mandrel. Uh, yeah. Let's see here. I'm trying to think of how you would even like. I've done a little bit of lost wax casting in my day. Um, huh. I don't know how you would do that. Uh,
I've got a hypothesis for you, and I don't know if it's any good or not. Would revolvers have been more prevalent in the western part of Missouri because of things like the Overland Trails in Independence, Missouri, and things like that?
I mean, maybe, but also far more realistically, probably not. Right?
Okay.
Because if you're leaving to embark, um, to go across the country, right? And you have everything that you own packed up with you. Space is a premium, weight is a premium, and you're trying to have as much money as you can for when you get there.
Mhm.
Ultimately, the utility of a pistol is pretty fucking worthless compared to a rifle or a shotgun.
Okay.
especially when you have the opportunity for a smoothbore Fowler or something that is going to cost you a lot less. Um, if you're picking up like a 18 or an 1814 or even like one of the interim smoothbore muskets, right, would be far more worthwhile. Is going to cost you like half as much, be way more commonly available, and be infinitely more useful.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think you'd find them concentrated by far most heavily in St. Louis, just because there's way more fucking people there.
That'd be a really good research project.
Um, Fun fact that I didn't know until today: Missouri, if Missouri had seceded, it would have been the most populous Confederate state by a not insignificant margin,
Correct.
like a significant margin. I didn't
Would
realize that in the census in 1860 there wasn't another uh, slaveholding state that had a population of over 200,000. Only Missouri, not even Virginia cracked it. That kind of blew my mind.
would St. Louis have been the second largest city of the Confederacy?
It probably would have taken first.
I think
I don't know the
New Orleans might
exact
have to compete. That's
exactly. I don't know the exact numbers between New Orleans and St. Louis,
well. Let me
but
just do some quick
New
Google.
Orleans was certainly the largest in the Confederacy, and then the second largest, as you know, was wherever the Army of the Potomac is.
Right.
Uh,
So in 1860, let's just call it 169,000 in New Orleans.
okay,
Let
yeah.
Let me
So
look up
that's
St. Louis.
That's kind of awesome. Also, I take that back. Let me qualify my statement. I think I tossed over, but I'm not sure. That's military age males, by the way. I apologize.
You're good.
But yeah, uh,
Ooh, yeah. St. Louis had 160,000. So
pretty fucking close. Yeah,
most
fair.
decade. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It was
It's pretty damn close. It makes sense. Like they're both the lineage of both places is very similar. Obviously, New Orleans was around and established far before,
well.
but
New Orleans was the biggest by far in the Confederacy.
correct. Yeah, yeah. It was
How,
not a huge.
the question though for St. Louis is how many of of that population in 1860 was military at Jefferson Barracks?
Probably not many because there actually wasn't a huge garrison in St. Louis throughout most of the war. Um,
Jefferson Barracks, 1860. Let's find out.
it was a major like transportation and training hub, but then the overwhelming number of troops in Missouri were spread out along rail lines and major roadways. Um, like in, for example, 1861, when M. Jeff Thompson was assigned to attempt to take St. Louis, he got thrown out and dissuaded because of an 18,000 man force in the area of St. Louis. Or not 8,000 man force in the area of St. Louis. Um, it it certainly was a large and ridiculously important military installation, but it's not, you know, we're not looking at, just bajillions of dudes. Also, the weird thing is, throughout the entirety of the Civil War, the U.S. Army still operated multiple large installations because they also operated the entire arsenal complex, which is separate from Jefferson Barracks, um,
Right.
which is kind of cool. Still, really sad that none of those actual buildings stand. The current quote armory building is like World War One era. Um, but yeah,
What I find interesting about Jefferson Barracks is that even all the way up to Vietnam, it was the primary point of, for lack of a better term, embarkation for the United States Army west of the Mississippi.
correct.
So if you were going to ship out to the Pacific, you were going to ship out to Korea, you were going to ship out to Vietnam, you
Yeah,
were probably headed to St. Louis.
at some point, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense unless you're like sitting on top of the Rockies It's a whole lot
Right.
easier to concentrate in St. Louis and then either pack you on a ship to New Orleans or whatever, or
Right.
just coordinate from there. Yeah, yeah. St. Louis is fucking awesome, but uh,
I can't find steady numbers,
yeah, that's
but
because
it looks
it's
like maybe 2 regiments.
like, and that's the thing, right? Like, you're not gonna find steady numbers because this shit changed constantly,
Right.
right? Like, again, it wasn't a large standing military force sitting in JV. Um, but either way, it is cool. That's for damn sure. But anyway, so I'm trying to figure that stuff out for Tuesday. Get unit labels made, get rocking and rolling. There's obviously not a huge amount of information. I meant to go down. Um, there is a museum down there, but it's only open on the weekends by appointment. It is kind of cool. It's a really cool little museum because they've got a lot of ridiculously original artifacts and documents that are not digitized, which makes me kind of sad
The,
that they're not
the
digitized.
that's
But
the Civil War Museum there in Jefferson Barracks.
no. Sorry, at the Battle of Fredericktown Museum in Fredericktown,
Oh,
Missouri,
okay.
as well as
Okay.
at the Madison County Courthouse in Fredericktown. Uh, like, yeah, yeah. Like, so, Reese, actually, here's the fun part. If you want to do single 15s, I also have a bunch of single 15s that I've already done already for not necessarily bushwhackery, but like guerrilla and general civil unrest in actually specifically that area, specifically Sam Hildebrand killing George Miller and then getting chased out of there.
Hmm.
Um, the issue that I run into every time is the same as with the uh, for fuck's sakes, bald knobbers is coming up with like a good rule set that fits it well, right?
I'm
Um,
just gonna run fistful of lead.
I
I
know, but it I don't know. I need to read slash play a couple times that game Guards of Traitors Toll.
okay.
I think that might have a good take on it. Um, just in terms of already having some of the framework for gameplay in place.
Okay. We
Sorry.
need to do some research over it and talk you and I about it because I think we
Yep.
could come up with something. I've got them in 54,
I know my
and
my
I love rocking them in 54, but sometimes I want just a little bit bigger action.
well, and that I don't even necessarily mean bigger action. I just have dreams of playing, you know, of getting a real feel for um, the scope of the incidents by playing with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 figures, probably closer to 20 or 30 aside, single based figures in 15 mil on a
Huge table.
4x6 table. Yeah, where it's like, yeah, you're right. This is fucking huge. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Our ground scale is still 6 millimeter, but this is huge. Also, I really want to build like the bluffs over the uh, south end of the Little St. Francis River.
Oh yeah.
Um, it's places that I've legitimately walked, which isn't necessarily something you get to do on battlefields and shit. Super duper a lot in the U.S., especially as you move further west.
Well,
Um,
I deer hunt on part of the Pea Ridge battlefield that's still privately held.
exactly. See, that's
It is.
badass.
I deer hunt where the first little cliffside ambush took place.
Okay, there you go.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I do at the north end of the battlefield
Yes,
on the
on the
approach to
Telegraph
Elkhorn
Road.
Tavern as you're walking all the way down.
On the Telegraph Road.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I've
Below, I think it's either Little Sugar or Big Sugar.
I don't recall. I can point to it exactly on the Blind Swords map though.
Yeah.
Thunder in the Ozarks is a great game. Um, it's a great game. It's a weird. It's an interesting engagement to look at because you've got to have an oddly shaped the principal battlefield itself, where most of the engagement took place, is almost like two different engagements, but it's a big weird L shape. So it's challenging to if I want to play the full. I've played the north end and the south end scenarios, but if I want to play the full thing, I'm gonna have to do it in my garage because it's a two mapper. But instead of being stacked next to each other, one of the maps is rotated 90 degrees, so it doesn't fit on the table in the house very well. Because the one side winds up being like 5 feet long, um, at least in that system. But yeah, no, that would be pretty cool to play. Um, yeah, yeah, very excited to play this. Um, whatchamacallit, Fredericktown scenario. Thinking about doing Fort Davidson after that. So again, that's another one that's just south of here, in the Arcadia Valley, in that same area. Those two battlefields are maybe 20 miles and 2 years apart. Um, but yeah, it should be fun. There's a lot of damn woods though, buddy. I tell you that much.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of damn woods. I
So
need
that's
to go
another
get.
thing is how do you model the woods as thick as they were effectively?
I mean, if you model the woods as thick as they were, you just can't shove models in there. So
You know what
it's
I'm talking
you
about, though. I
can't.
mean, how do
I
you?
do. I do, especially if it's summertime. There's a reason that on topographical like orienteering maps, there is a color that is then listed walk dash fight.
Mm-hmm.
You can walk through it, but you can't model it. The challenge is you cannot model it on a tabletop and then move a model through it. That's kind of the whole fucking point, right? So
Yeah.
my best way that I've found to do that is use alternating colors of green or brown, um, like cloth under your woods to indicate, okay, this is rough or this is woods. This is very rough going. Uh, because yeah, as much as it would make a beautiful table to look at, we're not building a train set.
Right.
We need to move stuff through it. So um, in the past, I've experimented with like throwing out a bunch of like lichen and clump foliage.
Just moving it.
Yeah, it works. It's really messy. It's a pain to get back out of your figures. Um, the other best way that I've done it is just scatter a little bit of that stuff on the ground inside of your woods, right? So you've got woods, and then you've got heavy woods or dense woods, and so there you put some of that just on that different colored um, area.
Right.
Uh, but yeah, ultimately it's just like playing like a Vietnam game. You can't get the vegetation as dense as you want it to be, and then still actually play a game on it. It's just part of the trouble of the period. But luckily, this takes place in October, so I can reasonably, in my mind's eye, extract down, all the bald sticks to 1/100th of their size and understand that they're invisible.
There you go.
Because they'd be something like 1/1000th or 1/100th of a centimeter across, and that's even kind of thick for a lot of the undergrowth around here. Uh, it gets disgusting in the summertime, but ultimately none of it is that thick. It's just real leafy, and there's lots of tall weeds. But hey, I mean, honestly, most of it dies back in the wintertime, and what doesn't die back isn't necessarily colossal. Um, so it's one of those things that doesn't bother me too much. And honestly, most of the people playing games don't necessarily understand how bad it is either, or if they do, it's not too hard to explain to them.
Right.
Um, it is cool to get into it, though. I think I've looking at needing to use for this if I'm doing the strict Fire and Fury, like base size conversions for regimental. I think I'm going to need something like 45 to 50 Union stands and just shy of 40 Confederate stands. One of those Confederate stands is going to be artillery. Finding numbers for the cavalry is tough because despite the fact that these are freshly formed units, it's still the Western Theater, and so it's not uncommon to read accounts of units mustering a company of cavalry with like 20 dudes in it,
Yeah.
which on paper should be 100. So we'll see how that goes. I found a where the hell did I put my I just stood up to refill my water and I set down the notebook I was working with. Oh, it's under my computer. Okay. Um I found where someone else had played a scenario of it, but I have no idea what rules they're using, and each of the regiments is like 2 or 3 stands, so that's probably not necessarily as helpful. But again, so in Fire and Fury, a gun is 1 or 2 guns. A stand of infantry slash cavalry uh, represents 40 guys. Um, I believe. Let me double check that. I'm like 99% sure that. Um, no, it's got to be the same between infantry and. Um, no, 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 no. Not brigade. Not brigade. Playing regimental Fire and Fury. Yeah. So infantry and cavalry stands represent 40 men. A gun model represents a 2 gun section. Um, so that's kind of wild. So like here, the Confederacy has like 1 gun base. I found one place where they claim the Confederacy had 2 24-pounders here. It was one of those. I don't think so. A, you're the only place that I found that, and B, that would be fucking. Can you imagine
It would be something.
trying to haul 2 24-pounders, much less the limbers and caissons for that?
Yeah.
That'd be insanity.
What about Long Tom up in the Cumberland Gap? You've heard that one, I'm sure.
Yes, no, that's fine.
That's
Again,
funny.
when you've got certain infrastructure or a lack of necessary mobility, that's one thing. The Missouri State Guard spent most of the time in the war getting chased around the state by infantry and cavalry, for that matter, formations.
What do you know about Empires at War terrain?
Empires at war.
Because you can order their kits painted for £2 more.
Whoa.
I'm sending a link to you on Discord of something I'm looking at that would be perfect for Missouri.
I am looking at their 28 millimeter and Old West store right now. If it ever loads. But yeah, okay. So let's see here. The question is, do we want to just divide all of the infantry to essentially be their plank bridge is pretty bitchin'. Are you looking at 28 millimeter stuff?
I'm only looking at 20.
Oh,
Did you see the link I sent you?
no, hang on. I'm not going to look at it on my phone right now. I don't know if it's going to boot me off of this.
No, you're fine. It's the 20 millimeter ACW veranda building.
Oh, this is only. You said Empires at War?
Empires at War laser cut wargaming terrain. and their website is completely frozen for me because evidently 2 Americans looking at it is all they can take.
Yeah, no shit, right? Is that the one that's got essentially a real long veranda on the front and then little steps down the sides?
It's a yellow building.
I don't know. I'm looking at their 28 mil right now, but if it's like a lot of places,
No, it's got a green roof. It's 2 stories. It's an L-shaped house with 2 chimneys.
oh, okay.
It looks like a Missouri farmhouse.
20 millimeter. Open link and new tab. Why am I having to do that on everything? Ultimately, I have more than enough resin, like cabins and whatnot,
Right.
to do anything rural that we need, both single and 2-story, which is kind of cool. I kind of enjoy that. A lot of the times you kind of only see stuff that looks real Eastern, which is not necessarily a bad thing. That can be plenty pleasant, but okay. Why are you showing me 28 millimeter stuff? Category 20 millimeter.
This thing is slow as Christmas.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. Oh, I think it also is. Oh, now it just aired out. Service unavailable. Okay. Sweet. Oh, I see it. Okay, yeah, I see it in 15 mil. That is a pretty outstanding. That's a big house.
But for 2 pounds more, it's in yellow. You throw that up and a bunch of fencing around it with maybe some outbuildings.
Yeah,
Get some guys running to their horses in their nightshirts.
yeah.
So, just a thought.
They send this to you painted for 2 pounds? Are you shitting me?
2 pounds more.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't give a
It's
shit.
like 16, 17 pounds, I think. I got booted out, but
Yeah. Huh. That's pretty cool,
I'd say so too.
to say the least. Aw. Oh.
What?
Oh. You can get the red one. Oh, wait. Oh, it's not 2 pounds more. At least for 15 mil, it from kit to like made, it's 10 pounds difference.
Really?
Yeah,
Let me let this load, in a bajillion years,
yeah, that's fair.
and I'll let you know because I could have sworn it was just like a 2 or 3 pound difference.
Yeah, such is life.
We're probably talking Chris's ear off. Sorry.
That's fine.
Okay, back to my
I-
latest. Okay. Now,
I'll
so
interject when I have something to say.
the issue is this is Missouri State Guard troops in 1861.
They're
Everyone
not,
has hunting rifles and shotguns.
and they're not going to be in uniforms. They're going to be in like civilian pants.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, all my models are painted in uniforms, so they're all going to be wearing
Oh
uniforms. But,
well.
okay, that being said, so we have, let's see.
I
Thompson.
could totally use a French barn for Missouri barn. I got stuck in their Normandy range. Sorry.
All good.
It doesn't look half bad. That could be used.
And I think I'm looking at LS for light smoothbore for 6 pounders. Make sure I got my abbreviation correct here. Because in case you guys didn't know this, Fire and Fury has the greatest quick reference sheet that has ever been put out with a rule set. And I just found where they have it printed slightly larger on two normal letter size pages instead of one front and back. One front and back legal size. That being said, I still argue that the legal size, if you make a copy of it and then you put the gun damage dispositions, so gun silenced, gun damaged, battery destroyed, in the little promotional thing up in the top corner, then this has literally everything you need for the game. White, smooth. Okay, that is one stand. Thompson. First. Okay. TRN.
So it's not available built, but it is available painted as a kit.
Oh, there you go. Okay, that's pretty slick.
That's what I'm saying.
I gotcha. That makes a lot more sense. That makes a lot more sense. I always wondered how difficult that is. If that just entails like spray painting your MDF before you cut it. Ever since Buddy got his laser cutter, because if that's what you do, that'd be pretty slick. But I get the feeling that might have disastrous results to just try. Um,
Laser cutters could be fun.
yeah, buddy of mine got one, and it is super handy.
Just
So I
making
gave Toddy.
our own MDF stuff now.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I gave Toddy all of the remaining Fire and Fury size bases that I have because we started doing. See, Ashley, he started putting 6 mil on those, which works great. You know, you put 4 or 5 figures on a 1 inch by 3/4 inch base, looks
Right.
great. But I gave him all the Toddy, right? I had a sandwich bag full of them. Wait a minute, I can just call Pat and say, "Hey, Pat, let me get some more of these," and it worked pretty good. All right, so trained. We will make everyone in this game reliable. We'll do 4, 3, 2, which will put them at 4 stands. Okay. That means that's 5. Take me down to 32. Perfect. Each of these Confederate regiments has 8 stands.
So the seminary building at Gettysburg,
Uh huh.
would that not make a great Independence, Missouri courthouse?
It would make a really, really good, honestly, yeah, courthouse for a lot of places. Yes, I would agree with you. As well as whatever the whatchamacallit building on Cemetery Hill was, not the archway.
No,
But
the
yeah.
actual seminary building.
No, I know. No, not Seminary Hill, Cemetery Hill.
Oh,
I
I know
don't
what
know
you're
what's
talking about.
I don't not the gateway, but yeah. Yeah, that would be pretty badass, to be honest with you. I don't fucking want it. God, I hate Microsoft nonsense. Fine, I'll open it up in Open Office. Eat a dick. Um,
Now you've got me looking at 15 millimeter Civil War. What would that take me cost wise to get into?
I mean, it depends on how big you want to do it.
Let's call it 150 a side.
Infantry?
Or just figures in general.
Well, I know, but I mean, usually cavalry costs about twice as much because you got to do all the stuff. You got horses and dudes.
Some infantry, some guns.
This is a fun little distraction. All right.
Sorry,
Let's see here. No, I'm not. I said it was a fun little distraction. Hell, you
because I'm
apologizing
looking
for.
at Sarissa's ACW terrain in 15 millimeter, going, oh, this is doable.
It's very beautiful. It
I
is.
can get for $75. The 15 millimeter North American town is calling my name.
Yeah. Dad'll look at Blotch. Blotch has a bunch of good stuff too. Let's see.
You throw the Gettysburg, well, you throw the Antietam set in there because it's got 2 bridges and a ton of fence,
It
and
does.
then you pick and choose some extra stuff, and I've got anything I could need for the Ozarks.
Correct. Yeah. All right. Let's see here. We will toss in. Let me pull this into a new window here. Shaboop boop. We will just put in a whole union thing. Let's see here. Da-da-da. Bags of 30 miniatures for $12. Hell yeah. Hell yes. So there's guys marching.
You
There,
know roughly what I'm looking for, what I like, what I don't like.
yep, there is a pack of guys advancing. We can add in a pack of guys firing. Simple enough. And we can add in a pack of guys charging, which then also includes some command figures as well.
I can also get ironclads in 15 millimeter.
You can get ironclads in 15 millimeter. You are 100% correct.
I'm kind of thinking this is a yes.
There's a strong argument to be made for this being a yes. There's a reason that I legitimately really, really enjoy.
I don't want a mansion. I'm going to need a ton of fence.
Correct. Again, the nice thing is if you're trying to do Western, you can get away a lot um, with stone fences, which are dog easy to make,
Right.
which is super fantastic.
What about railroad tracks? I'm thinking that's a no.
Honestly, I'd have Chris. Is your FDM printer working?
I need to get a new nozzle.
Oh, well, fair enough. I'd spend $3 for Chris's new nozzle and ask him very nicely to 3D print it, or I would do that. Except for that mine, for whatever reason, my Cobra, it's like anytime I try and print, it pulls the print head like all the way to the front left.
Oh, I'm saying I don't think that railroad tracks would be as necessary in the
Oh,
West.
no. I mean, a lot the flip side of that is that a lot of the fighting took place rather particularly along
In that case, I might. Oh, I mean, they're $10 for some lengthy sections of tracks. That's not bad.
it isn't. All right, so let's see here.
In 15 millimeter,
Mm-hmm.
you can use Engage and call it close enough.
Correct.
Fair enough.
So there, you just hop on eBay and find a giant box of N-gauge track and call it a day. All right, let's see here. There is a pack of 12 pounders, which I believe has 6 guns in it. Yep. Okay, let's add all this up. Add to cart. There is all of the artillery crew. Add to cart. There is cavalry with carbines. Add to cart. Wait, didn't I just do artillerists? I did do artillerists. We don't need that one. Okay. There is charging level muskets with command. Add to cart. Here are firing line.
The Antietam set comes with 80 inches of fencing.
Yes, that's pretty slick. Advancing. Marching. We'll put, well, although if you're doing small stuff, you probably don't need a whole bunch of standard bearers. This one
No,
pack that has 2 of them is probably more than enough.
honestly, don't need any standard bearers.
Well, somebody's got to have a fucking flag raise.
That is true.
All right, so
I
let's.
just don't like the way they look at me.
Well, that'll happen. All right, let's look at this here cart.
Like, sir, that's a really big stick. What are you doing with that big stick?
All right, so we got 6 guns and crew, 15 cavalrymen. 1, 2, 3, 4 is 120 infantry, including some command figures, and it's $80 for right at your God damn, that's right around 150 dudes.
That's not bad. I would probably slash the infantry in half and double the cavalry.
Well, it's
Uh,
simple enough.
yeah, but that's very reasonable.
Yeah, because that's 15 cavalry, 6 gun with crews, um, and then 120 infantry.
I'm looking at this Antietam terrain set. I think Dunker Church is probably too recognizable to be used on the table.
Mm-mm.
You don't think so?
Just because it's the most famous one that you've seen doesn't mean that small one-room churches like that weren't everywhere.
That is true. What about? I mean,
And,
I don't think there were that many covered bridges in the Ozarks, were there?
uh-uh.
So that's a no. And then the stone bridge is absolutely a no.
Yeah,
So the Antietam set, the only thing I'm really looking at is the fences. I can add that secondary.
fair. Let's see here. American Civil War 15 millimeter. Oh god, I forgot how colossal um their selection is.
Sarissa?
Yes.
They're
Yes. Correct.
having a sale right now.
They are.
That's dangerous.
It is. And all their stuff is gorgeous. That's the problem, right? Um it is
The 15
legitimate.
millimeter North American town set looks like it's well worth it.
That's like the first thing that pops up, isn't it? Yes, it is. That's a super like that's just a what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 buildings. Yeah. And one of them is friggin' huge. That mansion
Yeah,
is colossal. But at the same time, like you were talking about, that would work wonderfully well for a courthouse.
or
That is probably slightly too fancy to be the Taney County Courthouse.
it is, but it'd make a very good. Oh, whatever that house is in Yeville. Um, it'd make a good representation of the Union headquarters in Marion County,
Fair.
which I'm probably going to mostly do the Arkansas side. So,
Man, that's a good deal. It's like
um,
less than $8 a building.
I'm not getting the Gettysburg set.
I gotcha. Those are huge. What is that? The slider barn? That's just colossal.
Yeah, that doesn't look like a Western barn.
And it's got the Pine Cemetery stuff. Yeah, I can't blame you.
Um, the although the Trostel Farm building
Mm-hmm.
is that in the Gettysburg set? I can't tell,
I don't believe so.
but you can buy it separately.
Mm-hmm.
Throw that in there. Throw the livery stable in.
I think I have the Trostel Farm building from somebody not Sarissa.
But I mean that works for Missouri.
It does. I
The
think I got them
the
from
ironclads.
the.
You got to. Do I want a monitor?
No,
It'd be funny though.
it would.
Um, the rail fences aren't terrible.
Nope.
Throw several packs of those in there, just because you know you're gonna need them.
Let's see here. Mm. It's got a whole bunch of rail fencing, doesn't it?
It's about 40 feet. No, 40 inches. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's all good.
The monitor just looks goofy.
It does. So Sarissa does a really, really good job on some boats. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of their generic ironclad either.
Eh,
Um,
it looks enough like something that the Confederates threw together.
yeah, I would have preferred them to do a far more standard riverine like 4 port
Oh yeah,
ironclad, but you can't always get what you want.
get what you need.
Also, it's less than $20, so it's not something to be that mad about.
Anybody else make 15 millimeter MDF ironclads?
Let's look.
Just curious.
I'm surprised Jeff left. We've been talking about the Civil War quite literally this entire time.
Right.
Jeff, are you still here?
Enough of this stuff could also be, well, no, not for 20 mil Boer War, but maybe.
Yeah. You can usually size down just a little bit on your terrain without being too bad, and 20 to 15 isn't too bad. Where's Blots? I don't think they have. I'm sure they don't have an ironclad, but
What
they probably have a lot of.
What do you think about Sarissa's Forest set?
I'd just grab Woodland Scenics.
Okay.
It's slightly more work, but not by much.
I'm just curious.
Um,
These AWI stockade outposts are calling my name, but I don't need that.
correct.
Don't need it. Don't need it. Sadly, the seminary building is not available as a separate kit.
It happens.
Because that would make an amazing courthouse for either Lawrence or Independence.
Fair. I'd still argue that that mansion makes a pretty good one too. But
It does.
um,
Oh, I need some sort of stone barn.
that might be a little tougher to find.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, or something to use as a stone barn. Because the bushwhackers really hated assaulting stone barns.
Yep. Let's see here.
Which I get. I wouldn't want to do it either.
Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Come on. It might be worth looking in their World War Europe stuff.
I'm looking at their English Civil War right now.
Good call.
Again with the stone bridges.
It's an
They're
English
amazing.
thing,
They look awesome. I have no use for them.
right? Correct.
Okay, looking in World War Europe.
Okay.
I'm not seeing anything that just doesn't scream Dutch.
I am still nowhere close to through their like 14 pages of stuff.
Um,
The other thing you can always do is take one and then just. My favorite way to do like good stone onto like MDF is I roll up a bajillion little like putty balls and then I smash them onto the side of it. And that has worked pretty damn well for me in the past.
hopefully the coyotes aren't coming through on the mic.
Nope.
They just ran between the shop and the shed and the house.
It's okay. Fuck 'em. They're just little dumb dogs.
Yeah, I know.
Your puppies aren't out. They'll be all right.
No, but my calves are. Anyway,
Well, that's fair. But I'd imagine if your calves are, so are their incredibly angry mothers.
you would think. You would think. Anyway, as we ramble on, I'm still
Charles,
not.
take a picture and put it on like Facebook or something, buddy. I'll help you find out. Yeah,
What's he
well, he said he's got a tank he can't identify.
Oh,
Put it on, slap it on Facebook or something, Charles. We'll help you figure out what it is.
you got somebody.
Yeah. Todd and I just did that with a whole bunch of stuff that he got from that guy locally here. we went through just a ton of 6 mil that he had bagged up and went through and ID'd a lot of it. Most of it wasn't too hard, but it was mostly GHQ, so there was certainly some oddball stuff in there, including a rather generic looking early armored car that we kind of just had to settle on. Well, this is probably a Polish, WZ-2038 or whatever, but who knows? Come on, we got to be able to find a friggin' stone barn. I know that Sarissa cut most of their stone stuff out because people were complaining about how the stones didn't look, they looked too flat. And it's one of those, well, yeah, it's MDF. I don't know what to tell you, but that's kind of how this works. Let's see. I'll tell you what, I have an idea. Buildings. 15 millimeter buildings. 15 millimeter or Blue Moon 15 millimeter buildings for the French and Indian War. They do have a French post cabin, which is badass. I was very, very tempted to get a bunch of those for early St. Louis, but I didn't. Not right. No, not there. 15 millimeter buildings. Horror buildings?
I'm looking through the Napoleonic range just in case.
Oh, I switched over to looking in on Old Glory.
Let me know if you find anything.
I know they have stone buildings. I just need to figure out if it's the right scale or period. Let's see. I should be cleaning trees off of split rail fences. Oh, no, that's not right. Buildings. 15 millimeter guy.
I think 160 inches of fence is enough.
Texture. Again, you're not making Gettysburg. You don't have to have a fence around every square foot.
No, but it's like for little yard fences and such.
Yes. I'd say you will very likely be just fine.
We're still coming out under $200.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not even going to worry about the train track.
What on earth am I thinking of? I'm losing my mind here. Honestly, Reese, fuck it. I'd just grab the cheapest MDF barn building thing that has the right shape that you can see on like Etsy,
Mm-hmm.
and then smush your own rocks onto it, or like do it in putty and then roll a rock roller over it.
That's an idea.
Blue Moon has one. It's like $15, but it looks more stucco. Like there's not individual rocks on it.
Well,
But-
there's the idea of doing the livery stable and just doing it in stone, or putting stones on it.
Yeah,
I don't know. Something to think about.
your boy does not need to
Where were you
buy-
looking at figures at? Was that Old Glory?
Yep. And the nice thing is, with you not trying to do like Fire and Fury, so you're not needing for every 35 figures or so, you don't need a command figure and maybe a musician and a standard bearer. You can kind of be strategic and grab the packs that have command included in them,
Mm-hmm.
and then mix everything in.
Or just buy a bunch of officers to use as characters.
Correct.
So
But there's just a ton of stuff there. Like I really enjoy also using their quote sergeants for officers because they're not then unarmed.
Mhm.
But that or using one of the cavalry figures / getting one of the mounted officer packs, and then you just using most of the quote mounted officers as individual cavalry figures. But let's see. I believe they've got just like in 28, all kinds of individual uh, units that have their own command. Oh no, but you can get like the Hood's Texan command, where especially in 15 mm, it just looks like guys in Confederate frock coats with slouch hats. So that works pretty fantastically.
Confederate infantry firing line with blanket roll. That's 30 figures for $20.
Oh, I can order it and ship it to myself at your house, so you get 40% off.
Okay.
They got the little membership job, so I get
Oh, at
40%
Old Glory.
off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you and I are gonna have to talk about that then.
yeah, that's by all means simple enough. But dude, yeah, like I don't know, I really enjoy the fact that um, like you can grab the Garibaldi Guard are gorgeous and awesome looking,
Mhm.
and it makes me really really happy that you can pick them up. They just look so cool, man. I am a fan. Let's see what other.
I'd totally put some Berdan's sharpshooters on the table just to do it.
Actually, that was one of the first 15
Mi-
millimeter ACW units that I painted. Was
Mix. I'd paint them blue though, and mix them in with the rest of them just to have some guys with breech loaders.
yeah. The other cool thing that they do have is packs of dead horses and dead and wounded guys,
Ooh,
which are super duper useful.
yes.
Whether you're playing like again a game where you need to use them as status markers or just to have them out there, um, they're quite useful.
Yeah, dead horses would be great.
Yeah, it's um, that's the kind of window dressing slash terrain that really can push over the edge. One thing that you might also look at, I think it's way at the end of the thing, but I think they have some rather more specifically Western oriented figures, as well as I want to say it's in the 15 that they've got guys in like shirt in their shirts, so not the jackets.
Okay.
Um, let's see here. Let's see if I can find them.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't need any big guns, so I'm thinking a couple of howitzers would be fine.
I'm about to say a couple howitzers. The 12 pounders by any medium point in the war are pretty ubiquitous. I don't know if they have sixes.
Infantry in shirt with floppy hat. Union infantry in west marching.
Yes. Oh, there you go. So they do have 6 pound guns, and that's pretty perfect for what.
I'm thinking the 12-pound howitzer is just the way I'm gonna go.
I would just paint some of them brass, some of them black. To be honest with you,
Yeah, and I prefer firing poses over advancing poses.
that's fair. Yeah, the infantry in shirt with floppy hat. I got a bunch of those.
Okay.
They work out super well. I grabbed them for Fenian raids, right? So 1866 U.S. raids into Canada,
Okay.
but they are also. I grabbed another pack of them, and I need to clip their bayonets off to use them for bald knobber stuff
Okay.
because they are very delightful for that. Um, Looking at extant photos of bald knobber stuff and those figures. Uh,
I would also want the American Rifleman with scopes pack,
I,
just to for character figures and such.
I have a couple of those that I glued into trees
That'd be phenomenal.
and shit that I just throw out on the table to see if anybody notices. I think there's at least one or two that aren't modeled on bases in that pack. That or I got a couple packs. 'Cause I think I have a Confederate tree and a Union tree. But yeah, no, they're cool ass figures for sure. All right. Wow, I really did. I just put together a pretty solid, especially if you're not playing like Fire and Fury. If you're individual basing, it's kind of wild that you can wind up with all that stuff for like 8190 was that thing with the big pack of cavalry, 120 infantry, and then 6 guns. Dang, that's kind of cool. Especially considering if you're trying to do like a mainly infantry thing, you can swap out the if you go to a flea market at a con, somebody's going to have a an artillery piece or two, right?
Right.
So in all honesty, Reese, I wouldn't even worry about buying guns. I'll just give you a gun or two because I've got a ton of them up here.
Well, I prefer the howitzers,
I know.
so I'd be going for the howitzers. But let's see.
All right. Let's go. I think the other cool thing is, let's look at, I want to say Coruscant has 15s also.
Okay.
So that might be a good option. I can't ever remember if it's Coruscant that I was looking at or somewhere else. Again, the nice thing there is, okay, I don't want, 12 command figures. What if I could grab one or two? Is it Coruscant or is Coruscant not who I'm thinking of? Coruscant does not. Okay, who am I thinking of here?
So Old Glory doesn't make any specific Confederate cavalry, do they?
Yeah, they do.
I'm not seeing it.
Let's see here.
Nope. I missed it completely.
Yeah. Well, again, that's part of the danger of having like 12 pages worth of stuff. Yeah, you get Confederate cavalry command, pistols, sabers,
Carbines and
carbines, and
shotguns.
shotgun, as well as then the First Virginia cavalry, which is,
Dismounted.
the First Virginia is a great pack to grab because it's got kind of a mix of all of them.
Okay.
So if you want a guy with a guide on, you want some guys with swords because you did see those. That was one of those things that I was reading about in southern Missouri here was random guys who found fucking swords places. Like dad's army type shit. Like I don't know where this guy showed up with a sword. But I
Yeah.
want to say it was the St. Francis County Sheriff showed up to try and hunt down Sam Hildebrand and he had a sword. Which is just one of those like, wait, like who gave Dan a sword? Like why the fuck do you have a sword? But anyways, that's a really good pack because it does. It's got guys with, I think it's got a couple guys with pistols, some guys with carbines, bunch of dudes with swords. And the nice thing about 15 is if you want a dude not with a sword but with a pistol,
Right.
you cut the front of the handguard off, you cut the sword off like an eighth of an inch, and you just bend the motherfucker over, and it looks a lot like a Capmol revolver.
Yeah.
You just paint it black. But yeah, that's one of my favorite packs because then you do have the a commander looking figure in there as well, which is nice without buying a pack of commanders. But they do have the personalities packs too, which are kind of cool. At 15, it's a little harder to tell who's who, but
That's
that
okay, especially
doesn't
if you're out
matter.
west.
Exactly. Exactly. But you got, you know, that's a pretty characterful pack as well. The camp set is pretty cool. I think I grabbed the Union one with my last membership renewal. So I got little vignettes of dudes sitting around hanging out. That comes with a single gun too, but I think it's a bit of a larger gun. But yeah, that was a cool one. And then if you do want wagons or hospital shit or anything like that, they've got all that stuff too, which is kind of slick.
I'd be okay without wagons to start, I think. Whoa, my cart just got expensive.
That'll happen.
I need to pare this down.
Again,
That's almost $400.
well, look at then subtract 160 off of it, and that's what
Okay.
you're actually paying.
Plus shipping
But,
too.
well, it's $10 or $13. It's a flat rate. What was I looking at? Where else had I seen? Where else did I find cool, like civilian figures?
Oh, they have 1/2400 scale ships on Old Glory too.
They do, and they are all one-piece castings.
But
Their 12400 is all like Age of Sail stuff, but yeah.
that's okay. Oh well.
Let's see here. The Oh, come on. I think it's the 15 millimeter war paint. Maybe they've got civilians. No. Let's see. Somewhere they have 15 millimeter civilians that work pretty good. Let's keep looking. Let's keep looking. Let's keep looking.
Is it 15 millimeter Colonial
It might be. Go ahead and look in there.
or French
Oh,
Indian War?
it is 15 millimeter Old West, not war paint. There's a
Okay.
townsfolk pack that's got a bunch of unarmed civilians, mix of men, women. There's a couple kids. I think that's the one that's got a drunk guy in it that's just sitting on his ass.
Oh, fun.
He's an objective in the
Ooh.
Vault Mobbers.
Are there mounted cowboys any good? Do you know?
Yeah, I always really enjoy them.
I'm going to see if any of these cowboys and gunfighters make decent, like,
Probably so.
bushwhackers.
Probably so. It might. Some of their hats might do with a little bit of trimming, but yeah, probably.
The
Most of-
gallows set would be just funny.
Most of them do have like coats on,
That's
not
perfect.
not like bushwhacker shirts.
That's okay, especially if you're taking this into the 1870s with Jesse James, because
Yep.
it's a direct.
Yep. They are bad mans.
Okay.
But yeah,
My brother says you're a 15 millimeter Colonial.
You know what? I'm about to be.
That is a-okay. Chris Long, you're absolutely correct. Old Glory has tons of stuff. It's pretty nice.
Are they going out of business too?
No.
Just wanted to
I mean, Russ is getting pretty up there in age, but it's also a large enough. Like, they do a bunch of outside casting. So they do a lot of casting for other companies. So I get the feeling that even once Russ and Connie decide it's time to retire, like Teresa will still be there, and they've got other people working for them that I don't know that company, unless something real weird happens, will just disappear, which is good because that'd be a loss to the miniature gaming community for sure. Okay.
I'm looking for the civilians. I'm townsfolk. Okay.
There you go. You might check the 15 mil war paint also. Simple Man Gordon, what's up?
Hey, Gordo.
There's two different.
What about the 15 millimeter Old West casualties? Know anything about them?
No.
Okay, I'm not going to worry about it then.
They are probably very, very similar to the ACW casualties, though. If I had to bet. Where is... Okay, there is unit effectiveness. So for reliable troops, they would be 864. Thompson.
Come here, sir. Ah.
You're talking about war paint for more cavalry, or?
Just if you're looking for cowboys, they might have some in there. I'm not sure if that's. It might be primarily like Plains Wars stuff. I'm not sure.
I mean, they're not bad.
I have some for the the mounted Apaches. I have some of those for Wilson's Creek because at some point in time I'm going to put on a Wilson's Creek game, and I had to have Stan Wade's guys.
Well, down here we had the Cherokee Civil War going on until 1865 too,
Exactly.
so I might need to look into that too.
That tank looks like a T-34 76.
Just a shorter, skinnier barrel.
Yeah,
And
let me.
slant
I'll go
sided.
ahead and share it here. Hold on. There you go. Maybe. Why is it not sharing?
Still showing you.
Oh, there we go.
I can't quite. Yeah, it's a T-34 76. It's got a big turret on it though.
Yeah.
It's got like a T-34 85 turret and a 76 millimeter gun.
Maybe it
All
just
right,
broke
there
the
you
barrel
go.
off in 85.
Who knows? Charles, I'd just call it a T-34 76 and maybe call it like command tank or something, buddy. But yeah, it doesn't have that teeny tiny original turret on it. Okay. Okay, the first mill light artillery.
My brother says, "Yep, cast turret and note the gun mantlet."
Yep. He has not moved yet, Gordo.
Gordo asking if I've
Hold on.
moved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, excuse me.
Okay, we ready to pare down this Old Glory thing?
That's how I tend to work it.
My card
Chris
is
Long
3
says
pages.
KV-85.
It might be, Chris, except for that it's got the T-34 slanted sides and it's got the weird external fuel bowser looking things that weren't on the KV. It doesn't have those vertical armored ribs over to the track guards either. But yeah.
And Charles, yes, he knows he's a pretty kitty.
Could it be the IS-1, or is that too close to the KV-85?
It didn't look like an IS in terms of like we didn't have a good picture of the whole shape, but
Gotcha.
Charles, is it about the same size as your other T-34s or is it significantly beefier? Let's see.
Here's another shot of it. Hold on. There you go.
Yeah, I don't think it's definitely not a IS. Yeah, it does look big, but like see the external little cylinder dudes? I've never seen those on an 85. Either way, ultimately, Charles, I think what we're getting to is you can call it almost whatever you want to, as long as you don't call it a BT5.
Right. And it's definitely not a T-55.
Correct.
How many road wheels? It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Oh, that's a good
6.
point. I didn't even really look at the tracks. I don't know.
It's got 6 road wheels.
Hiding in the cellar, waiting for the humans to come for us. You were the last surviving witches after Kenmore fell. You and a batch of mutated orphans with nowhere else to go. Are you ready?
Shit, it might be.
Could it be a T-44?
I also wonder if we have a turret mounted on the wrong vehicle. Who knows? Charles, call whatever you want to, buddy. It is an IS. There you go. I believe Chris Long. Lord knows he spent enough time staring at this stuff.
Right.
That's still super expensive.
The other thing to do is just break it into chunks, Reese.
Yeah, I'm sitting here thinking about what I really need, what I don't need.
That's fair.
I'm thinking I ditched the Cowboys.
That's fair. It's always something you can pick up towards the back half if you feel like you want them, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Care if I run through what I've got so far?
Get after it, buddy.
One set Union infantry in the west firing.
Hell yeah.
One set of 12-pound howitzers, which you said. Would you have maybe two of those?
I am sure that I can find you appropriate artillery models. Don't worry about that.
Okay, so I'll ditch those. One pack of American riflemen with scopes, because why not?
Because you have to.
One pack of Union mounted officers. One pack of Confederate infantry firing line with blanket rolls. One pack of Union cavalry with carbines. One pack of Union cavalry with pistols. One pack of dismounted Union cavalry. One pack of dismounted Confederate cavalry. One pack of Confederate cavalry with carbines and shotguns. One pack of Confederate cavalry with pistols. One pack of townsfolks.
Hell yeah. Did you have the infantry with slouch hats and shirts in there?
I don't think so, because I think those were all like advancing.
Oh, okay.
Union
I got
infantry
you.
in the west has like hats on.
I got you. You get after it, buddy.
So
Hell yeah.
that's a grand total of 217, which you said if you order that for me, that's going to be a lot cheaper.
Yeah, it's 40% off.
Okay,
So it's like 22 times 4. So it's like $80 off.
yeah, that'd bring it down to 130 bucks.
A lot of shit for $130.
It is. We can talk later about potentially doing that.
Absolutely. You know how to get a hold of me.
I do. I'm gonna leave this in my cart overnight and evaluate in the morning if I get out to the shed.
Amen.
I'm also going to leave my Sarissa cart open as well, because that would just be awesome. Although that makes me think I may want some Union infantry and kepis in a firing line, just to have some regular U.S. troops with the gunboat.
It's fair. I get you.
So, kind of a generic ironclad, but we'll see. We kind of just hijacked the whole show, didn't we?
Well, we spent legitimately the entire show talking about wargaming. Which,
Yep.
Or the justification for certain figures in war games.
well, yeah.
But
that
it
too.
all related. Kind of proud of us.
I have no problem with this.
Kind of proud of us.
Yeah, dude. As we should be.
Now the question is, what do I base them on?
I would highly recommend 3/4 inch washers.
Yep.
Have you seen the bases I was using for 20 mil?
No.
They're the Axis and Allies chips. You did see them. You saw my Vietnam.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. I just like washers because I usually store in on magnet
Magnetized.
sheets. If
There
not,
you go.
3/4 inch rounds are my favorite, regardless of their. Yeah.
Well, I'll consider it. It may have to. How long do you have that discount for?
Somehow forever,
Okay.
but either way, I will have it as
I
long as you
may
need
I
it
may have to
because
wait till we change
I
ranges.
I renew every year, anyways. So yeah, it's
Very
outstanding.
much appreciate it.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. No, it's a killer deal, dude. Again, it's $40 and it saves you 40%, and you get a free figure pack with it. So in all reality, you're spending like 20 or $25, and you get 40% off. So if you spend $80 or whatever, if you don't get a free figure pack, if you spend $100 there over the course of the year, you make your money back.
There you go.
Um, and it is not difficult to spend $100 on that site, as you just figured out.
As
Uh,
I did. As I did.
all right.
So,
These guys are very lucky in that they all just marched out of St. Louis and have rifled muskets.
There you go.
We're definitely going to give a couple of these State Guard units IRs. So they've got a mix of random stuff.
what's
Yeah,
their
we're gonna get.
figure of the month club?
It's a thing they used to do before they swapped it to you get a free pack every year. They used to send you a figure every month.
Cool.
Um,
Are they all 25 or 28s?
I don't know. I think there might be some like 15 millimeter sci-fi in there. I
Gotcha.
just click on it. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's where I got a whole bunch of my 28 millimeter Cowboys and Pirates from,
Okay.
because they were doing that. They've got the cool thing is the cool and slightly frustrating sometimes thing is they've got a bunch of like different lines from different places. So like you were seeing in 15 mil, there's kind of like two cowboy spots in 15 mil. I
Right.
think they have two or three cowboy and pirate lines each. But yeah, that being said, in 25, it's kind of cool because one of their cowboy lines is entirely matched figures for mounted and dismounted.
Oh, that's
So
helpful.
it's like 4 mounted figures and then 4 dismounted
Hmm.
for the same figure. It's kind of nice.
Cool.
It's
All right,
nice because you
guys.
don't, if you're trying to play like a narrative Old West game, you're not buying a big ass pack of like mounted sheriffs and then a big ass pack of dismounted lawmen. You just
Right.
go with what you got. Okay, let's look at this real quick since I just did this while we were talking on the show, and it'd be kind of cool. We can tie this back in with um all right, so in Fire and Fury, you've got base labels. So like this is the Union right here, right? So what you're seeing is the 20th Illinois under the command of Plummer. They're rated as trained. They start out with 6 bases. They go down to war or they're fresh. Start with 6. They're fresh until they hit 5, and then they go down to Warren at 3, and they're armed with rifled muskets. 17th Illinois was slightly bigger, still under Plummer, still trained. They start with 7 bases. They go down to Warren or fatigued or whatever, and then 3. I know that I had to rewrite over that. Again, with rifled muskets, moving down, so you can see all the Union infantry there, all those units. Then you've got 2 small units of cavalry. One of them starts out with 4 stands, the other with 3. Again, they're trained artillery. Same sort of stuff. You've got trained. The first Missouri had 6-pounders. So they got light smoothbores. This first Illinois was armed with howitzers, so they got light howitzers. So it's 6 smoothbore 6-pounders and 12-pound howitzers. Confederates come down. Again, everybody's under M. Jeff Thompson, 1st Missouri. They were trained. Again, it's kind of a learning game for the guys who are here, also to figure out how quickly we can play. So I kept it really, really basic. A lot of times you'll go through and change this, as well as these numbers will change depending on the morale of the unit. So here you have kind of proficiency. That's your kind of expression of morale. So again, they'll start with 8. They'll go down in effectiveness at 6 and 4. They have inferior rifles. I probably should have kept one or almost all these as prime 5 Stewarts, 38 infantry, and bases on 18 entries, all 6 mil. Hell yeah, Toddy. But yeah, so they're rated as inferior rifles. So that's like where you get a mix of either like 1842s, stuff like that, or like a bunch of the Belgian imports that weren't quite as great. Either way, there's not a whole lot of difference between them and rifled muskets until you get out to like 16 inches. The Confederate cavalry has shotguns and hunting rifles. And then again, you've got the Confederate artillery with their 2 6-pounders. So, yeah, there we go. We got it all set up. And I got to put these in, send them to a buddy. He's going to print them, cut them out. I'm going to get the units arranged in their cases so we know where we're going. And then, bam, just an issue of cleaning off the rest of these guys. I think I've already got 5 or 6 feet done, which might be enough. We don't need a whole lot for this game, but yeah, good stuff. It's productive. So proud of you, Toddy. That is actually fantastic. I'm delighted. I did also find, Todd, a whole bunch more 6 mil for you that I need to bring over to you. I found that big case that it's not a big case, but I found that case that I was looking for that had all of the U.S. vehicles. I know that the box I gave you was mainly German, so lots more 6 mil going Toddy Boy's way. I think we're trying to play on. I think he said he was going to try and come out this Tuesday, but then hopefully I can get to playing with Toddy a whole bunch more of these Tuesdays. Now that we're not doing exclusively bolt action, what's that?
Jay is doing a refinery terrain he required from Merle
Oh, nice.
Dillinger
Is that?
MDF kit from outfit called War World Gaming.
Yeah. Looks great, Jay.
So see the little gene stealers happening.
Yeah.
So
That'll be super fun to play on. You and Joey going to tear that up?
more than likely he is. They've been doing some gene stealer versus Imperials using Fistful Led Galactic Heroes.
Outstanding.
So yeah, it's quite. What? Go away. There you go. So
I'm working on it.
yeah, if you make it to J3, you can play on it.
Working on it.
So anywho, he said Joey set up that scene for the photo.
Outstanding.
So
Looks good, man.
good stuff. Good stuff. So well, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up for the evening. It is already 10:10.
It is.
So go ahead and everybody have a great week. For those wondering, the toe is getting better. It's healing pretty well. I've got a appointment next week for the podiatrist to take a look at it and see if everything's still cranking along. So
That's good. That's good.
fingers crossed, things go well, and I can get back to getting back to.
Just
So-
cross your fingers, not your toes.
Yeah,
Right,
don't do that.
exactly. So, all right, guys. Until next time, everybody take care of themselves. Stay warm if you need to stay warm. Stay cool if you need to stay cool. And we will see y'all on the flip side.
See you
Take care of
guys.
yourselves.
Bye, Polly.
Don't jump too quick.